The reason anyone is broke in the Western world today is because they are one of three things. They are either lazy, they are arrogant, or they are stupid. And if you're broke, you are one of those three things. I don't care what excuse you try and fucking give me. You're going to have to choose which one you are. Because if you're none of those three things, it's impossible to remain poor in the modern world, in the West. There is so much money. I'm going to rub it in for all the brokies quickly. There is so much fucking money in the world. I want you to, when you drive down a street, go to London, drive down a street. Every building's worth what? 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. Someone owns all this shit, right? That hotel's $1 billion hotel. That fucking restaurant's worth 15 million. You can take a taxi ride and drive past £1 trillion fucking pounds. Who owns all that shit? People own all of this, right? There's so much money in the world. During COVID, when everyone's complaining that they went broke, I made so much fucking money. You would not believe the amount of money I made. The amount of money that's traveling around and floating around the planet is ridiculous. We're talking about inflation being out of control. It's because they're printing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. It has to go somewhere. Now, they try their very best to keep it amongst the elites, and they do that. But if you're anywhere near the elite, you get money, right? If there's a rainstorm, all you have to do is walk outside, you're gonna get wet. The difference between me and everyone else is I know where the door is to walk outside. Everyone else is just fucking floundering around the room, looking on the floor for pennies, like a jackass, right? There's so much money. It's so easy to make money in the world today. It truly is. And the reason if you're poor and you're remaining poor is because you're either lazy, arrogant, or stupid. So we'll talk about those three things. The first thing is lazy, which I've already discussed. I believe 99.9% of the people I've interacted with in my life are lazy. And when I say lazy, I mean it in the genuine term of the word. They're lazy. They think that they come up with bullshit like work-life balance and, well, there's no point working if you don't enjoy yourself and all this other fucking shit. And they remain lazy. And the problem is that the world we live in is player versus player. If you go play Call of Duty, right? It's PvP. You want to live, you got to kill that guy.
Yep.
He's some fucking 14-year-old in Singapore. He might he loses one more game. Don't care. Sniped. Boom. See ya. Had a nice life. Tangent. You're gone. That's how it works. Player versus player.
This is the most knowledge I've ever heard being dropped on this podcast, man. It's fucking nuts. I'm going to walk away from this fucking thing and we sat there in Uber on the way home.
Got sniped and
I'm not going to
it's a harsh reality.
Tangent in Singapore is done.
He's finished.
So, but it's player versus player, right?
Yeah.
Now, I would like to believe in a world where you don't have to wake up and think about the money. Where you don't have to wake up and think about the bag. You don't have to wake up and think, how do I get paid? Where instead you could wake up and think, I want to enjoy my time. I want to spend time with my family, et cetera, et cetera. But the problem is it's player versus player. There are people like me. There are sharks in the ocean. If you want to stay a fish, you're going to fucking lose. There are people like me who wake up and think, fuck it. I want more. Don't give a shit. I already have everything I could ever think of. I already have enough money to buy everything I could ever dream of. I can't even think of anything on the planet I want. Don't care. I want more so I can take it from others. There are people like me that exist, and you have to compete against people like me. It's player versus player. So when I say lazy, my entire life is work. And when I say that, people think that's depressing. No, it's not. It's not depressing. I love it. Every single thing I do is work. When I go to the gym, it's so I'm in fantastic shape, so I can call everyone a brokey, and they don't want to come up to me on the street because I know I'll fuck them up. Work. When I come here and do a podcast and have a nice conversation with you gentlemen, work. I'm making money in between, work. When I'm it's work. So that when me and her go to the club, she behaves herself with all the other girlfriends around because she knows Big D. You understand? It's all work. Life is work. Existence is work. If I'm awake, I'm working. Every single thing I do is conscious. It's all done on purpose. Now, we're going to finish this podcast. I don't know what you guys are going to do afterwards, but you could certainly film 10 podcasts in a row if you wanted to, but you won't because you're fucking lazy. That is the truth. You can be the biggest podcast in the world. You refuse because you want to.
We're on that way.
No,
we're on that way.
Go home. You're not allowed to go home. Go home. Only work.
No.
There's nothing else. You have to outcompete everybody.
It's smart work.
No.
That's the work.
No. We're going to get onto smart work in a second, my friend. Now, smart work.
10 podcasts in a row is a waste of fucking time. No, it's not even not doable. It's just not. Just putting out 10 fucking podcasts is stupid.
You think I won't film 10 podcasts in a fucking row?
That's an L. If you film 10, that's an L for you. Because
no, it's not.
Because how are you going to talk about recent?
Matter. You can delay them. It doesn't matter.
But the content you talk about won't be relevant in 10 weeks' time when you put it out. But you can talk
about evergreen subjects, about the fact that the Matrix is here to enslave us all.
That. No, not about that. But no one can. What I'm saying is they want to hear about the latest and the greatest.
I understand.
We have to talk about that.
My point, the point I'm trying to make is smart work or intelligent work is something that most people use to hide and disguise their laziness. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're not a lazy individual, the first thing you do is you dedicate your entire life to work. Like I just said, every bitch I fuck is work. Every gym session I go to is work. Every car I drive is work. I'll film it. I'll use it, whatever it is. Every single thing I do inside of my existence is work. Once I've used all of my human time, every single waking second of every single day, and I now have a pile of work I can no longer complete, then I look to streamline. Then I go, okay, I've been awake for 17 hours. And my work isn't finished. I need to find a more efficient way to get my work done. That's when you start being smart and efficient. But until all of your time is used, smart and efficient is a disguise for laziness. It's bollocks, right? Fuck that off. You don't need to be smart or efficient. You need to fucking work. I have people inside of Hustles University. You just said I conquered TikTok, right? Mm-hmm. There's a guy inside of Hustles University who is 16 and he's making 45,000 pounds a month. Do you know why? Because he takes my old interviews, he makes TikToks and he puts them on TikTok. He does 300 TikToks a day. He just fucking works. Doesn't think, doesn't try and be smart, doesn't try and be efficient, doesn't try and change the world. He sits his ass there on his phone and fucking works. And now he's making 45 grand a month.
That's why I'm starting my Tate TikTok tonight. And I'm 100%. And I've got my name. I've got my name.
You ain't even made a fella's TikTok
100%, 100%.
The fuck are you doing right now?
I'm going with Pastor Tate.
Don't make him the fucking money. Make us the fucking money.
No, listen. My affiliate link is going in my bio. Guys, make sure Pastor Tate. That's me right now, tonight.
So, but this is the point. So most people are lazy. And when I say this, I understand work-life balance. I understand some people want to rest, blah, blah, blah. I get that shit. But there are people like me who are born to work. We're born to conquer, and you have to compete against us, and you're going to lose. You're going to lose because we have networks. We have people who work for me. I have 1,000 people who work for me, and all I do is work, and all they do is work. All we do is fucking work. How are you going to beat me on TikTok? You can't beat me. I'm here, and I've conquered the fucking platform. It's mine. That's because I'm a workhorse. So most people are lazy. So if you're going to sit there and you're going to look at me and you're looking at my 27 supercars and go, I'd really like that. If you'd really like that, you need to understand that every waking second, you need to be working. And I'm going to handle every excuse because I want to answer this question compendiously.
Fantastic vocabulary right there.
Concisely. Because most people who come to me and say, oh, I'd love to be rich. No, you wouldn't. Because if you'd love to be rich, you'd be working. Now the people will say, well, I don't know what to work on. That's another lie. And the reason that's a lie is because there's always more work to do. Now, how much you care about something is directly correlated to how much work you find to do. Mm-hmm. If you truly love a coin, you can polish it forever, right? You can find work to do. If you sit there and go, oh, my work's done, then you haven't tried to find work. You can always find work. I don't give a shit if you're a carpenter. I'm a carpenter and I finished my work. Then go drop leaflets about carpentry. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to stay home. Then you don't want to be rich. There you go. There's your fucking answer. So you can find work to do in any sphere. You're saying we can't do 10 podcasts in a row. Perhaps you're right. Let's assume you're right. Let's assume you can only do one podcast.
Yeah.
I guarantee if I was in charge, you guys would be fucked. If I was in charge of this business, let's say I was in charge of the Fellows podcast, you would not be going home till at least 9 p.m. and I would find shit for you to fucking do.
Okay, but Andrew,
you would be doing something.
In fairness,
there would be work to do.
In fairness, when we finish this podcast, the end of the work is not done. We'll go home and then we'll work on our own channels.
Our own stuff.
So when I'm done here, Andrew, when I go
see you at the top.
No, 165th floor, my friend.
165th floor.
I'll see you there.
And I'm not talking about you guys personally in a disrespectful way. I'm just trying to highlight the fact that there's always more work to do. There's no such thing as finished.
I want to be disrespected today. I want you to tell me.
That's like some cock fetish.
No, seriously.
No one's degrading.
I'll tell you.
Compared to the general public, they will look at me and go, Chip's rich. But then I look at you, Andrew, and I go, that's rich. Yeah, and I want you to tell me why I'm not where you're at.
I'm telling you.
That's what I need.
Good.
I want to hear that.
And I'm telling you.
I want to be on that fucking yacht.
All right, I'll tell you. Yeah, good. Yeah,
I want to be there.
Good.
So tell me everything.
Good. Right.
I need to know.
Good. And this is the thing. So you have to find more work to do. Now, if you truly can't find more work to do, I don't believe that's a thing. I believe that's just an excuse for laziness, right? You can always find some more work to do. You guys could go back to a podcast you made a year ago. And you could go and you could make a highlight show of all the times that you said, I don't know, fuck or drink or whatever. Yeah. And you could make a highlight video. You can make a 10-second video of all the times you said it. You can put some music on it. Boom, boom, TikTok. You can always find work to do. There's no such thing as no work.
Cal? That's your next
There's no such thing as no work. No such thing. So most people are lazy, right? The second thing that the people suffer from is arrogance. And the reason people are arrogant is because every single individual, especially men, we're born with we have an ego, right? And I think the ego is a very important thing. If you read any of the modern bullshit that is pumped out by the Matrix, they say, you must get rid of your ego. You must remove your ego. But I disagree with that absolutely. That's the Matrix trying to program us all to be slaves. If someone has an ego, they are full of pride. And if you're full of pride, you do a good job. If you are proud of yourself, if you're proud of your body, you're going to have a good body. If you're proud of your work, you're going to do good work. If you're proud of the things you say, you're going to make sure the things you say are intellectual and well thought through, right? So they try and tell you to have no ego, to remove your pride so that you'll accept the programming from the Matrix. They want to make sure that you're an empty vessel. They can just insert their programming. So you need to have an ego. And the ego can either be your best friend or your enemy. An ego you work hard to justify is a superpower. An ego that you have without justification is here to hinder you. So I'll give you an example, me, right? I've always had an ego. But I realized that I was full of shit having an ego if I wasn't actually a capable fighter who was rich as fuck with a dangerous world-class network. I realized that having an ego without those things was just bollocks. So I had 87 professional fights and I made $100 million. And I built the war room and got one of the most powerful networks on the planet. And now I get to have my ego justified and I get to sit here on podcasts and talk with confidence because I've justified my ego. I knew what I wanted to be and I justified it. Right? If you have an ego and go, well, I don't have those things, but I don't need those things, then you're fucked, right? So most people are arrogant. I will sit here and tell the world on this podcast that I have a school called Hustlers University that teaches people how to make money online with 18 modern wealth creation methods. It's $49 a month. And there are people who still won't join. Oh, he's full of shit. I have a jet and a boat. 27 supercars.
No,
15
not you.
I know people who
Shell
have
company.
Yes.
Shell company.
15 mansions, etc. And they're going to sit there, listen to all of the things we've said and go, maybe he's lying. Because they are arrogant idiots. They're idiots, right? If Mike Tyson teaches you how to, comes and says, I'm going to show you how to throw a punch. Do you sit there and go, well, you know what, Mike? It's not bad, but I wouldn't do it that way. Or would you sit and go, okay, Mike Tyson? Right? So I've always been a very good student. Everything I've learned from people. Even when I was a kickboxing world champion, I became world champion because I just blindly obeyed. It wasn't a matter of, I think this. It was just turn up at the gym, do this. My coach, who was Bosnian Special Forces, he fought in the Yugoslav conflict, would say, you're doing this today. You ain't going home until I've seen 10,000 push-ups. 7 hours later, I did 10,000 push-ups. That was the game. That was it. I just obeyed, right? So most people are so arrogant, even if someone like me wastes their time trying to tell them how to escape slavery, they're too arrogant to even fucking listen. They're going to sit there and go, well, $49, maybe it's a scam. Oh, maybe I scam you out of a Nando's. Oh, no. Boo fucking who? And if you want to, because I want to extrapolate our conversation, I want to tie back to things I said previously. We talked about how education exists in a vacuum. My education doesn't exist in a vacuum. Hustlers University is in competition with every single other purchase on the planet. So I currently have 64,000 students. 64,000 people are inside of Hustlers University paying $49 a month every single month. Don't be impressed I got 64,000 people. Be impressed I retain 64,000 people. Those people are making more than they spend. So you have to understand this. My educational system, it doesn't exist in the same way that traditional educational system does. You can spend that $49 on anything you want. I'm in competition with Nando's. I'm in competition with video games. I'm in competition with fucking food, fucking Snickers, the gym, porn, whatever you want to spend your money on. And 64,000 people have decided that the best possible value they can find for their $49 is inside of my school. That shows my school works.
My question to you is, you mentioned that there were, 18 ways of like modern...
18 modern wealth creation methods, yeah, correct.
Are any of those ways methods that you've personally used?
Every single one of them are methods that I currently use.
That you currently use?
Correct. So they are taught by it's taught by myself and other war room professors.
Yeah.
And they're all ways that I currently use. Because there's some people who already go, oh, I'll buy Bitcoin, that'll make me rich. No, what's it going to do, double? Oh, your 1,000 pounds is 2,000 pounds. Congratulations, jackass. That ain't gonna make you rich, right? So we teach 18 modern wealth creation methods, and TikTok's an example, right? TikTok is completely Hustlers University students making millions and millions of pounds every single fucking month. All they needed is a phone. Everyone has a phone and time. Do you have a phone and some time? Yes. Are you a lazy jackass? No. Okay, then you can be rich. You can have a Ferrari. What the fuck are you waiting for? And when I say arrogant, because there are people going to listen to this podcast, listen to everything I've said and go, yeah, that makes sense, but might be a scam, and not join. So most of you are either lazy or arrogant. Some people are so arrogant you couldn't help them if you fucking tried. And the last is stupid. And this is the smallest category, right? I don't think you need to be smart to make money. I really don't think you need to be that intelligent to make money. I think less than 5% of the population is too stupid to make money. Do you know how TikTok works? Are you too stupid to upload a TikTok video? No, then you can make money. Are you too stupid to upload a YouTube video? No, then you can make money. Are you too stupid to, even if you can't do it yourself, to go on Fiverr and get someone to edit a video that you can put on your channel? Like no one's too stupid to make money. They're just too lazy and too arrogant. So that is the plague. So if you're working your 9 to 5, you need to look in the mirror. I'm gonna take off my sunglasses for this. You need to look in the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. Look deep in your own eyes and work out which one you truly are. Am I fucking stupid? Well, I don't think I'm stupid. No, I'm not stupid because everything Andrew said made sense. Okay, I'm not stupid. Am I lazy? I guess a little bit. Am I arrogant? Work out which one it is and fucking fix it. Blink and cure your brain. And once you're no longer lazy or arrogant, you just have to find someone to learn from, right? You have to go, okay, I'm not lazy, I'm not arrogant. I want someone who's really willing to teach me. A lot of people on the internet were full of shit. I ain't full of shit. Congratulations.